Khan, Shalom. All praise go to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Wahal Rakakodash, the double honors of the apostles of Great Millstone, Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rakar, Apostle Ramlab, and the Shalom to all the sincere Achim that are push this with sincerity and the truth. Now I'm going to make a video on this statement that this guy in South Africa made, which is actually true, man, you know. And he's in his right mind because that's exactly what's going to happen. You know, it says whites should serve blacks. Controversial statements by South African party leaders spark debate. You know, and I'm not even gonna get into what they talk about. It's racism and this and that. Wasn't it racism all those years that you was doing this to them? Now when they want to fight back, you want to condemn it. You know, but you don't want to pay for what you did, man. And that's a wicked that's a wicked spirit within itself, you know. To not want to pay for what you did or your actions. If you stole something, you know, don't do it again. Bring it back, pay double, and don't do it again. That's a righteous spirit, you know. But if you want to rape, rob, murder all over the place and still come up with things like hate speech and meanwhile, you actually not only hated people in your speech, you raped, robbed, and murdered, then that's a wicked spirit to be in, man. You know, and that's Esau for you. He's not in trouble like other men, but eventually, in the end, you know, the Most High is gonna bring His judgment upon them. So let me read this. Let me play this video.
A national action plan against racism has been approved in South Africa. More than 500 race-related complaints were received there just in the period 2015-2016. Apartheid ended more than 2 decades ago, but South Africa is still struggling with the problem of racism. Meanwhile, the leader of the country's far-left Economic Freedom Fighters Party has caused controversy by saying that the white population should become domestic workers in black households.
I don't want blacks to work for whites. I want you to work for yourselves, and white people will work for you. That will be true freedom. You must teach them how to carry babies on their back. They must feel what our parents have been feeling. We're not calling for white people to be killed, but for white people to be our domestic workers.
Julius Mallema was expelled from the African National Congress back in 2012 for sowing divisions within the party. He went on to found the Economic Freedom Fighters, a political party which follows Marxist ideology and which is currently the third largest in both houses of parliament. Over the years, Mallema has stirred national debate with his views on race and class. He's been found guilty twice of hate speech and incitement to violence against white people. Well, white people represent 9% of South Africa's populations, but they own more than 70% of private farmland. Efforts to reclaim much of that land without compensation have been launched by the government. Our guests debated the situation in the country, including Julius Mallema's controversial remarks.
His comments still, I think, do hold certain underlying feelings of negativity towards white people, and I do believe that Mr. Mallema, he does have negative intentions towards the white people in South Africa.
You see what they be playing, how they play games, man. That's why the Most High is gonna kill these Edomites, man. That's why He will not allow one breathing upon this planet Earth soon, man. Only rape, rob, murder, and lying, man, justifying their actions. You see, hey, this gets me angry just by looking at it, man. So look, man. How about the negativity that they want towards Venezuela? Why don't they talk about that, man? You see? Why don't they talk about that? Why don't they talk about what they did, man? Why this is happening? Hey, let me just play this clip, man.
We want to obliterate, we want to end completely the system which is constructed today of white people on top and oppressing and exploiting black people. We want to end that system so that South Africa is in the hands of the black majority. We construct a new society which takes care of black people without oppressing white people. In fact, white people can even leave if they want to.
The general ideology of Julius Mallema, wherein he likes to try and create this sort of clash between races.
How about apartheid, man? You see that? How about apartheid? Why don't they open his fucking mouth about apartheid, man?
In South Africa in order to gain petty political points.
South Africa is a white-dominated country. 35,000 white families own 80% of the land. We don't own this country. As I speak to you as a black person in South Africa, I own nothing. I am, in fact, considered, I think, a tenant. White people own still everything. Therefore, there is a legitimate reason for black people to be unhappy about a white presence, white oppression.
The government, it gives them opportunities. Through the black economic empowerment, it gives them opportunities. It incentivizes businesses to hire them in higher positions. It is easier for them to enter into higher education, into universities. The idea that they are forced...
But wait a minute, doesn't that happen here in Holland? Doesn't that happen here in Europe? Doesn't that happen here in America? Anywhere that Esau lives? Doesn't that happen to them? You see? But it has to happen. They have to be dominant everywhere. That's the problem, man. I'm going to start with Isaiah 47, man.
Into lower positions is ridiculous. The system in South Africa is not a white supremacist system. It is not a white-dominated system. The government is a black majority government. This is a simple fact. You cannot deny it. Majority of parliament members are black.
Exactly, but it's not about the government. It's about who runs the country, who has the most resources. And Esau can't stand losing his power, man. That's why we're gonna, Achim, listen, man. This gets me really angry, man. You know, this where the scripture talks about temperance, man. We need to pray for that because, I'm almost losing my mind about this, man. But let's play this video.
White South African thinking, which is deny, erase. By the way, people like him in South Africa even denied that apartheid was a crime against humanity. But let's deal with the facts of South Africa today. It is true Parliament is black, but we can't even make laws that says you must take the land. Even these politicians controlled by money. Who has money in South Africa? Whites. They control these politicians. They actually we know all the politicians in Parliament are being sponsored by white people. Same white people who have land. As a consequence, our Parliament, whilst it looks black, is controlled by white money. It can't make laws to serve our interests. Why?
Good. So yeah, man, that's the video. But let me start at let me see. Let me start at this one right here. But that statement was good, what he said, because that's scriptural, actually, what he said. And even if he's a Hamite, he's still Esau's still gonna serve them, man. And it's in the scriptures right here. Let me read that. This is let me see. This is Joel 3, and let me start at 6. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Lord hath spoken it. You see? And the Sabians are Hamites, so it might just be the South Africans. We don't know, but we do know that Esau is going to serve all these other nations, some of the other nations as well, you know, that we put them under them, of course, you know. So the Sabians are going to have slaves as well, man, you know, and it might just be South Africans. We don't know that. So I can't really say the South, you know, Esau is going to serve South Africans, but we do know that Esau is going to be the bottom, the lowest of the lowest, man, the lowest of the low. So this is Isaiah. They can't stand losing power, man, and that's a devil right there, man. You see, you know, he keeps his composure, he stays quiet, like he's all neat and you know, but he doesn't talk about the truth, you know. His words are smoother than oil, but he talks around it, you know. Therefore, hear now this: thou art given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly, that says in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. And that's the spirit of Esau, because they see that their power is going down, but they still want to fight against it. They still want to say, no, it's a black dominated government. And how about all the riches? It's all owned by Esau, by the so-called white man. You see, that's the truth over there in South Africa, you know. So it says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of the sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. You see, they have done a lot of witchcraft. They have sacrificed a lot of children to stay on top. But that time of sacrifice and stuff like that, the demons are not going to answer them anymore, man. It's not going to give them power anymore, you know. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me, thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it had perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. Okay, so let's jump down to Genesis 25, and I don't know which verse it should be, but 121 maybe. See, good. So this is Genesis 25 and 22. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, this is Rebecca. Let me start at let me start at 20. And Isaac was 40 years old. Verse 20. Genesis 25 and 20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian of Padan Aram, the sister of Laban the Syrian. Wait, 1 minute. Lord his wife, because she was barren, and for it was treated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. You see, the elder shall serve the younger. And the first one that came out was Esau, right, which is the white man, and he's going to serve Jacob. And he's going to serve these, probably going to get kicked in the ass by these other nations as well. You know, certain of these other nations going to have slaves, you know. At least we know about the Sabians that they're going to have slaves, man. So with that, I want to say all praise go to the Most High, Yahweh Bashir Shai, Wahal Rakakodash, and Shalom.